Well, good afternoon, everybody. We'll be going live here in just a minute. We're just waiting for a couple of key people to join us, and we will. Let me see if she's. Oh, hang on a second. We're just about ready to get started.
Hi.
Oh, what a super Wednesday afternoon, May 18th. Good afternoon, Jenae.
Hi.
Hey, so excited to have this conversation with you, right? This is Unfiltered Talks. This is the live and unfiltered Jenae Noonan, and
Let me get rid of that dog.
I I think I hear Brizzo in the background. He's excited.
I think Brizzo heard you and got excited. I'm trying to actually get there to be no filter on. I don't know why there's a filter on my face right now, which is so ironic for unfiltered.
I think you look great. I don't think there's a filter on. I think you look wonderful. I hope you're feeling great today. We know there's a lot going on, so I see that. Yes. We're so excited for you to join us. Hey, just for everybody chiming in, you're in for a real treat, right? This is a great session of Unfiltered Talks. We're hosting the ever so delightful Jenae Noonan. I'm just speaking intermittently, letting Brizzo chime in as I
I don't
as
know
I go
why he's so
silent.
upset, and I don't know why there's a filter on my face. This is, oh
There,
wait, there we go. I
let's
got it
go.
off. Sorry about
Perfect.
Brizzo.
Hey, you never need to. And hey, let me tell you guys a little bit about Jenae. She's a two-time world gold medalist. She's a three times, soon to be fourth, best-selling author. She's the founder of Victory Publishing, which is a great publishing house helping other women get their spoken word out there. So proud of that effort. And she's a leading advocate for two nonprofits, Stay Safe, which we hope to hear something about today, and Pen and Napkin. And Jenae, just all around one of the most charitable people I've ever met. You certainly walk the walk, more than just talk the talk, right? I've had a chance to get a front row seat of some of the recent events in your life, and just so proud of everything you're doing and what you represent. When we met a few months ago at the event in Hollywood, um, it was a no-brainer that we were going to form this close alliance and amazing friendship. But more importantly, the world needs to hear from you in every platform we can possibly get it out on. And just that's not going to be enough of you. So Jenae, thank you for joining us today and for making yourself available. So grateful.
I don't even know what to say after that intro, but thanks.
That's why it's unfiltered, right? Unfiltered talks. That's where we talk about just about anything and everything and straight from the heart. So what we're trying to do, obviously, is communicate to the hearts and the minds of real people in life, just going through all of what life brings, all the good, all the not so good, all the rewards, all the pain. But what we're trying to do is draw strength from each other and know that, hey, we're all going through this. We're all experiencing some challenge, but there's also usually a light at the end of the tunnel, and sometimes it's not an oncoming train. So we're excited for that. But Jenae, I'm gonna get right into it. I got a couple of questions I want to ask you, and then
Go.
obviously, if anybody's got comments, they can chime in as well, and we'll take some questions from the live audience. But question number one, you are incredibly accomplished. You have achieved so much in one lifetime that most people would do in several. You've done this with a great humble spirit, but the question I have for you is, in your pursuit of all of your personal achievements, right? Whether it be your martial arts competitions around the world championships, the triathlon that you are training for and have participated in, writing these books, speaking on global stages around the world, and with some of the most prolific speakers as well. and then empowering all of these women, and then working with these nonprofits and doing all of the 27 other things that you and I have talked about and discussed. How do you strike a balance between achieving all of that with precision and perfection while maintaining some form of normalcy in a personal life?
Maybe the normalcy in a personal life doesn't really exist, or the normalcy is that, if that makes sense. Like that to me is my normalcy. I like struggling with this question because I was like, when I put my mind to something, that's my focus, and it's like that's what I'm going after, and that's what I want, and that's like that is my normal. Like yeah, I don't really have an answer, unfortunately. I don't have an answer to that because that's my normal. I know, like, social life, that's my social life. Like, training all the time and going to dinner with the team or hanging out with those people, like, that's my social life. Like, I don't date, obviously. I'm quite single. Yeah, and I see one of my friends who just signed on, and he's been trying to go to, like, see me for the last 20 years, and I'm like, yeah, I haven't missed anything, and I haven't missed my friends. Like the balance is, like, when I'm working with Pen and Napkin, like, that tribe is my tribe, or when I'm doing the circus, like, my social life is those people involved in that, if that makes sense.
Jenae, tell us real briefly about Pen and Napkin, please.
Pen Napkin is a 501c3 nonprofit. Sorry, that we help women, battered women or sex trafficked women get back on their feet. So the Pen and Napkin side of it will furnish their houses, give them a bed, couches, decorations, just give them a sense of we turn their house into a home, and we give them hope again. So Pen and Napkin helps sex trafficked victims and women of domestic violence get back to life.
And tell us an interesting fact about sex trafficking that I learned from you in some of my pre-interviews with you.
Are you ready? Because you normally so
it's unfiltered talk.
It's unfiltered. One of the fun facts that I told you is the Super Bowl is, hi mom, my mom just signed on, sorry.
Hi mom.
Hi mom. The Super Bowl is one of the highest events of sex trafficking. There's like $15,000 per seat, and these really rich people just go, and there's like a menu, like G5. There's a woman sitting in G5, and that woman's going to be sold for $70,000, $80,000 and never heard from again. So yeah, that's a fun fact. Disneyland's the #1 location, and we hate to talk about it, but it's been all over the news. Disneyland's the #1 location for sex trafficking. The Olympics and the Super Bowl are the one and 2 events. So, yeah.
So when we said this was unfiltered talk, we absolutely meant it, right? That's a shock factor for all of us. Hey, how do people find out about Pen and Napkin?
Instagram, penandnapkin.org. Or on internet, penandnapkin.org.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. And we'll talk a little bit about Stay Safe as well in a little bit. Hey, going back to your earlier point, you talked about striking a balance, or the normalcy of having a unique social life is your new normal, is your new balance. So I'm going to ask you a deeper question, right? So there's the dynamics of a normal relationship, and you have a plus personality. So we know that you're to not say this in the diminishing way, you're an overachiever, right? You've achieved everything you've set your mind to. And to do that comes focus, dedication, sacrifice, almost no compromise, and a very disciplined life. So you get involved in a relationship, and your partner may or may not fully understand some of your passions and your motivations, or at the same time may feel a little threatened or intimidated as a measurement of his or hers underachievements. So can you share a little bit about that?
First of all, hi Tiffany. I saw you sign on. My best friend had to say hi. So
hi,
I've actually dated some really seemingly success, like people would think they were successful, but it still managed my goals in life still managed to hurt their sensitive little egos. One of the sacrifices I've had to make now that you've brought that up is a lot of times when I try to get into relationships, they try and slow me down, or they feel threatened, or they feel like less than, and I don't like, I'm always their cheerleader too, like trying to bring them along or trying to help them out or literally trying to mother them the last couple ones. But I think at probably the last couple years of my life, I'm like, I'm not gonna date anymore if that's what it is. And it's like, I want to achieve and I want to do all these things, and it's like I can't carry another human being's ego in the process, which sounds really crappy to say, because I'm the biggest cheerleader. I'm like, oh, you want to, like, I'll even, if you have a project and I'm dating you, like, I'll jump on the project with you, because again, it's achieving and it's growing, and I love building and I love creating. So it's like, it doesn't have to be like necessarily my goals, as long as like we're in the process of doing that. And it's like, if I meet a guy and he's just like either trying to slow me down, first of all, that's stupid. My parents couldn't ever, and no one ever will. But so it's
And
just
mom's
like,
on the call with us.
the what?
Mom's on the call with us.
Yeah, she still might be here. Mom's probably laughing about trying to slow me down. I think it was finding the confidence that maybe relationships aren't for me, because life is so fun. Like, I have a pirate ship in my backyard, and it's like, I wouldn't have a pirate ship in my backyard if some guy was telling me not to build pirate ships. Like, so, it was more of like finding myself, and more of like, sorry, if you're not going to come along and be amazing, then don't try and get out of my way. Like, there's a saying, like, if you're not going to, what did they say? Like, if you're not gonna like help build, just get out of the way. Like, go away. Like, don't just go. So
That's okay. I think I heard a quote from General Tom Franks once, who said, "You either lead, you follow, or you get out of the way."
yes.
And so I completely understand that. That's good words to live by. So easier said than done, right? When choosing not to date, because I don't know if you found a switch to the heart yet, but how do you switch on and switch off what the heart wants at the time that it may or may not or should not want it?
So actually, the switch happened in myself when it was, I realized, like, this is really recently, but learning my value and learning what I wanted and learning who, like, me, and having the confidence in me, like, my heart would like to have a relationship, but I'm finally in a place where I'm not compromising myself. I'm not, yeah, like, I'm more, like, I don't want to sound bad, but I'm more important, and my happiness and my peace of mind and my drive is more important than slowing down for somebody else's ego.
No, I 100% support that. So, and I've seen the pirate ship, and it's amazing. So I'm going to ask you a question that some of our viewers are chiming in, and here's the question. So, easier said than done. Most men, and I'm just going to, for this example, suggest that it's a male relationship. They are designed to maybe control, maybe compelled, or maybe, somehow diminish it's hard for most men to celebrate the dedication or passions or success of their partner if they haven't quite accomplished some of that themselves, or that level of that. Now, I know you've dated some high achievers as well, but even with that dynamic, there's been a struggle with maybe some alpha control. Can you share some of that with us?
So here's the fun part about an alpha female is I will gladly allow, like, the biblical, like, let the man lead, or like, however, like, if he can
now we're going biblical. This is awesome. This is so unfiltered.
I don't know if it's biblical or cultural, but like, the man's supposed to have the lead. Go ahead and take it if you can do it. Like, I have no, like, again, if we go biblical, like submitting or like being submissive, which sounds terrible too, but I have no problem. Like, a relationship is two people co-creating together. I have no problem taking the second position and letting the guy lead, if they will. if they can step up and do it. But it's like, again, I'm not the type of girl that's gonna sit on the couch and be like, what are we doing today? Like, if like the man's like, oh, this is what we're doing, cool, I'm on board and I'm doing it. But you leave me with my own devices and we're building pirate ships.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
With a stuffed monkey.
With the stuffed monkey, yeah. So yeah, I am through and through like alpha female, but I have, if you are gonna carry this boat or drive the ship or whatever that sentence is, then at least let me have the map. Like, let me help you. Like, you know, how can we? It's a partnership. Like, you know, how can we do this partner shit?
No, I totally agree. So
Yeah.
magic one. Looking back, last 5 years, maybe 6 years, you were at the peak of competition. You were training for a variety of different events, highest level of sports. At the same time, you were authoring books and you were traveling the country and the world, giving out mentoring and training techniques and systems. Now, all of that had its rewards, and I'm sure there has some compromise with that. If you had a chance to do anything different or do anything over in the last 5 or 6 years, we're not going to look beyond that. What would some of those things be, if any?
5 or 6 years. You know, asked me this question 6 months ago, I might have had a different answer, but I finally realized that everything led to where I'm at. Like, the lessons, the downfalls, the strife, the brokenness, like everything has had its place or its purpose or its, so I don't think I would do, because I like where I'm at right now. Like, I like that I have this peace of mind. I like that, like I've always had the motto of nothing's good or bad. It's just always like something like you handle. And it's like, I used to have that motto while freaking out. I would go, okay, this is terrible, but we just got to figure it out. And now I'm literally at the place where it's just, okay, it's not good or bad. We just find a solution. Like, I'm currently broken and I've got a laundry list of things to do. And it's like, I did my makeup with my left hand. Like, we find a solution. I might look like a clown, but we find a solution. But back to your question, like, I don't like, no, there's everything has happened or led to where I'm at, and yeah, so no.
Okay, so no change, right? You would keep things exactly the way they are because you're comfortable and you're accepting of who you are today.
Yeah, well, the other thing too is, like, if I change this, what's the butterfly effect? If I change that, what's the butterfly effect? If I, you know, yeah, like I just don't. I mean, I'm down for an adventure, but I'm also the type that's like, things happened the way they needed to be, and I'm you know, I'm good. Yeah, because again, I don't know what the butterfly effect would have been.
I completely understand. So when we were designing this UnFiltered app, which is a dating app essentially with no filters that eliminates the highest possibilities of any type of catfishing, but we probably interviewed close to 300 to 400 women, men, couples, relationships to get some feedback, and some of the greatest concerns that the community had in the fact that we were unfiltered. So everything we do on this app is live. Nothing can be uploaded. Nothing can be changed or altered. We started to see a trend where they felt their self-confidence coming into play, or maybe lack of. You are confident. You are very comfortable with all of your decisions. And we've had many conversations. But for people out there that are struggling with self-acceptance, self-confidence, being able to be comfortable with themselves, what would some of your advice be for that group?
Okay, this is gonna be a good one. Okay. You can never please everybody, first of all. And sometimes the reason we have self-confidence issues is, this person gonna like me? Is this person gonna have an opinion? Since we're unfiltered, fuck that. Um, they're like, I have been hated on from Thursday morning till the moon. Like, there's people on the internet who would have wished me dead. Like if I sat here and was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that because someone's gonna hate on me, I would be sitting on the couch my whole life, and then somebody would hate on me for sitting on the couch my whole life. So I found my confidence in the fact that, like, at the end of the day, when I go to bed alone, I'm alone, and my thought, and even if I'm like next to my dog doesn't hear my thoughts. Like, my thoughts are the really only thing that I have, and it needs to be a really kind place. Like, I don't want to go to bed and you're stupid. Like, I don't, like, what? So, like, I go to bed and one of the things I say too is, did you do your best? Did you try your best? You know, yeah, then great job. Like, comparison is the #1 killer on the planet. Like,
Yeah.
you know, don't, like,
But it's a hard battle to win, right? Because everyone is inclined to want to compare. You know, do I look better than he does? Are my abs tighter than his are?
okay,
You know,
but even
yeah.
on that, like, I'm cute, but I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm a redhead, and there's going to be a blonde who's way hotter for somebody else. It's like, am I going to walk around being really sad that there's a cute blonde next to me? No, because I know that this guy over here likes redheads, and he hates blondes. Like, it's every single person you come across is going to have some sort of different opinion, and it's like, you like. I guess the reason I'm so confident is I don't give a shit.
Well,
But that took a while. Like, that took a while. It was like, it came from being hated on. It came from there was this time in my life, like, no matter what I did, like, a certain person was just like, you're stupid. You don't have the good job. You don't have this. And it was like, I breathed funny. It was like, okay. And it was just like real eye opener. Like, nothing, you're miserable. It's not me. And then I, like, hurt people. So, yeah. So the question is, like, what do you do? Like, you just do it. And you, like my pirate ship, I keep bringing it up because it's really cool, but it doesn't look like the greatest pirate ship in the world, but I built a pirate ship. And I, like, don't care if a construction worker comes over and is like, there's a few screws missing. Like, it's just knowing who you are, and just, like, realizing no one's opinion pays your bills. No one's opinion helps you sleep at night. No one's opinion is worth anything, I guess.
As you're journeying, and for the record, everyone needs a little redhead in their life. And #2, I've seen the pirate ship. It's amazing. But for the person that's struggling with just feeling rejected recently, or being cheated on in a relationship, or not getting picked when the person that they were trying to date may have been dating 2 or 3 other people, or, you know, in those moments, it's not the easiest to feel empowered and strong and confident and reach for those strength pieces. In those moments, you're thinking, if only I was this, if only I was that, if only my body was this way, if only my hair was longer, my nails were done, my eyes looked different, if only I lost 20 pounds. I mean, those are the moments when all of this doubt creeps in, and they invite their friends, right? Self-doubt is never lonely. They bring a freaking party with them. So in those moments, you know, somebody just getting dumped, worse still, somebody just getting ghosted in a relationship, which is, in my opinion, the most painful experience that you could either feel or inflict on somebody else.
Right.
How does somebody feel empowered in those moments?
You feel gratitude. You feel thankful that that relationship is over. If somebody left you because you were 10 pounds too heavy, you feel grateful. Bye. Somebody couldn't communicate well enough to you, and yeah, my mom said, it's not you. Yep. If somebody couldn't communicate to you and they had to ghost you, goodbye. You want to be in a relationship with somebody who can be vulnerable, who can talk, who can say, I don't know how I'm feeling right now, or like whatever. Like my ex left me for a prostitute. Let's just be honest. And I had nothing wrong with sex workers, but it was like at the moment it was like pretty like I mean I couldn't have had a better
Sure.
job, but like yeah, but it was
Sure.
like thank you. And a recent guy that I dated turned out still to be married, and he ghosted, and I was like, thank you. Like nobody worth having a relationship with is going to do that, and to know, like, again, to know your value, to know your self-worth, to know like I deserve communication, I deserve. And this the most unfiltered, the thing I've learned the most, and it's like this is what I want, and if it's not what I want, then like let it go. Because like, crying over the fact that he's ghosted you, or crying over the fact that he left for a prostitute, or crying over all these things, like that wasn't what I wanted anyways. And it's like I like bye. And I know it's easier said than done, but like once you can start, like okay, like that's like as humans, we have like this, we want people to want us, and then all of a sudden this person ghosts us, and it's like, what did I do? And all that. Okay, switch it. I didn't want that behavior. Like go to what you, I don't want a ghoster. I don't want that. And you saved me time and energy. Like I didn't have to be the one to leave you in 6 months because I'm sure communication issues were going to be a problem down the line. Like bye.
Right.
Bye.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I totally get it. That's awesome. All right. So, knowing all of this amazing experiences that you've had, and some of them painful, and the way you've dealt with them, we got a bunch of people on this call with us, and do's and don'ts when starting a new relationship. Let's start with the do's.
Be yourself out the gate, authentic. I think a lot of people present who they think people want, and then like 3 months down the road, the relationship kind of gets weird because you have to remember who you're pretending to be.
Okay.
Be independent of the relationship. Like before the relationship, you had goals, you had dreams, you had hopes. I hope you did at least keep those. Don't, I hate to say this, don't be desperate. Like, oh, this guy likes me. I'm gonna fit this square peg into this triangle hole because he's giving me so much attention. Is that a do or is that a don't? I don't know. I'll take that either way. Don't compromise. Don't compromise yourself. There are 7 billion people on this planet. Like, don't sacrifice who you are just for the sake of somebody else's attention.
Okay. Okay. And oh, no, that's great. Now you are single, and you put it out there a little bit ago, and we got a bunch of people that are probably pretty excited about that, right? So let's talk about some deal makers and some deal breakers.
Um,
If somebody wanted to date Jenae Noonan, God help them, right? But if I did not mean that the way it came out. I think it'd be an amazing experience. But because like I said, everybody needs a little red in their life, right? So
we
give me
fun.
some
Definitely
give
fun.
give me some deal makers and some deal breakers.
Um, self accountability is huge.
Explain
Being
that. What's self accountability mean?
self accountability is recognizing your part in the like it takes two people in a relationship. So if I'm like, hey, I'm sorry, I forgot to call you back, I'll get better at it. Like not having the ego, I guess, of like not like how do I explain that one? Being
Okay, so
self-aware.
let's talk about that for a second. You and I are dating hypothetically, and I have self-confidence issues. So you say you're supposed to call me back, and you forget, or you don't, and you get busy. I read way far too much into that, and I'm thinking, wait a second, she's not thinking about me as much as I'd like her to. I must not mean that much to her.
Right.
So then you're having to nurse that a little bit, right? So is that a deal
So
maker or a deal breaker?
So if you're able to communicate, amazing deal maker. Like, hey, like you ignoring me for 3 hours affects me. And if I'm like, hey, I'm on set, but it's gonna take me like 7 hours, I know that's gonna upset you. Next time I go on set, I'll just give you a time frame of when I can reply.
Okay.
Like, no one's perfect, and everybody has like their traumas as childs, or like their insecurities, or like their things. It's like being self-aware is, I'm aware of this. Like, I know that like you blowing me off for 6 months is probably going to get me to walk away. 6 minutes
Okay.
actually. Like,
Okay.
but being self-aware is like, I know like I need a response within the next 5 hours. But then if we can communicate and be like, hey, I'm going to do this interview, it's going to take me 5 hours, I'll message you right when I'm done.
Okay. So
But
communication can help that.
correct. Communication
Okay.
definitely can help that. So
Okay.
communication is definitely key. Having
What's it be?
ambition,
What? Okay. Keep going. Yeah. Okay.
having goals, and I'm like, life is about creating. So I can't be stagnant. And if you are, okay, so if you're stagnant, fine. Encourage my, like, let me be, like, we can be in a relationship. You can sit on the couch all day too, but don't, like, hold me back. Like, if
Okay.
I come home and you're sitting on the couch, and you're like, how's your day? What did you build? Oh, it was a pirate ship? Cool. And then we, like, have dinner and that's it, and that's fine. But don't be like, oh, I didn't do anything and you built a pirate ship. You're cooler than me. Like, so, um,
Okay.
yeah, I think,
So
like, go ahead.
comes back to the self-confidence of your partner, right? If they can't handle your success or your motivations or your drives or your passions, then you can't be a fixer, because that's on them at that point. They either have to bring it or they don't have it.
Yeah. Well, so I've also come to the conclusion about being a fixer. It's not my job. My job is not to fix people. I can encourage and help others. What up, Tommy? I can, yeah, it's not my job to fix. So I can, like, if you have the self accountability, you're like, this is an issue I have, and this is how I'm working on it. I can come alongside of you, but I'm not gonna like. I'm not your mom.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not my
No,
job. Like,
I
but
love
again,
it.
a good relationship. Like, I can like, these are the things I'm working on. This is, and I can come along and help you. Like my ex was trying to stay sober. I don't drink either, so that was easy. And there was no alcohol in the house. It was like those kinds of things. But I'm not gonna be like, don't drink. What up, Nick? I see you.
All right. So, I love this, right? And this is why we do these calls, because, you know, we when we suffer in silence, and we don't think anybody else is going through some of the same things that we're going through. And Jenae, you've suffered from this as well. People from the outside looking in, they see you as so close to perfect, like you have your life together, you have your successes, your achievements, you have your fan base, you have your projects. Everybody's pulling at you in 20 different directions to go work with them on different deals, movies, magazines, fashion, all the things that you have in your ancillary life. So from the outside looking in, it looks like it's perfect. But then we hear you on these calls, and you are talking about feeling rejected, being cheated on, and not that we need to visit all of the negatives, but so much positives come out of that as well, where we can now, without dismissing you or writing you off, we can easily say, she is how she is because she made a decision to be that way. She's as powerful and strong because she made the decision to be powerful and strong.
Mm-hmm.
She's experienced all the hardships that everyone on this call has experienced, but you've dealt with it differently. So congratulations,
Thank you.
you're absolutely um, somebody that we can always look up to, and I know you work so much with women across the country and across the world. What you do with Pen and Napkin, what you do with safe, stay
Stay safe.
safe. Uh, just we can do segments just on that, and
Yeah.
when we continue the editorials with the magazines and stuff, we will. I'm going to ask you one final question.
Wait, before
You
you
can.
ask the question, I want to jump on one thing you said though. That
Okay,
goes
go
back to
ahead.
the fighter mentality. Like it's not good or bad. It's just to find a reaction. And you said I make the choice to be better. I make the choice, and it's like that. It's like when we're faced with a situation, we can either drown in our sorrows or we can look at it. This is the issue. How do we move forward? I don't ever want to feel this way again. What needs to change? Like every situation that happens, it's neither good or bad, but it's like, do I want to continue to feel this way? No. Do I want to be happy? Yes. Do I like so every time a situation comes up, you're absolutely right. You have the decision. Do I want to go and drown in my sorrows, or do I want to go accomplish the next thing? And it's like, yeah. So what's your last question? Sorry.
No, but I also want to make sure that everybody on this call appreciates that you had to work to become this person. You know, it wasn't an easy decision. You put in time and effort, and you worked on yourself as hard as you worked on everybody else, and all of these other things in life that you've accomplished. You've set these goals for yourself on personal development and worked at it too.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't just decide, oh, I think I'm going to be happy and strong. You had to work on strength and you had to work on happiness. So I don't want to discount all of your accomplishments.
Thank you.
Yeah, and for two reasons, right? One is common sense, and two is I'm afraid of you. So it.
You're afraid of this face? You can't even use her hand.
Well, you can beat me with one hand tied behind your back. So there you go. So here's the question.
Okay.
What is the ideal date with Jenae Noonan? What does that look like? Feel like? How does that happen? What is the ideal date? And you can be as realistic as you like, or you can be as much fantasy driven as you want. But
So just a
what's the
date. At
ideal?
this point, just a date.
Just the
An
date.
ideal date. No,
An ideal date. Both of you have the luxury of time, and you make plans to get together, and
okay,
it's
that's
a Thursday.
key. That's
Yeah.
key. Making plans. Pick you up on Friday. That's a good start because most people are like, "What are you doing?" I'll come over in 10 minutes. It doesn't work for me. So yeah, so making the plan's a great start. I like new and adventurous things. I mean I'm currently one-handed, so some adventures are limited, but why is this
Well,
the hardest question?
no, that's okay. But elaborate on adventurous things. Are we talking bungee jumping? Are we talking axe throwing? I mean, what are we doing here?
Short of bungee jumping, because bungee jumping
Okay.
could kill me because of my injury, my back injury. But I like guns, although
Okay.
I can't shoot them right now. I like educational things like sushi. Yes, God, I see your sushi. Museums or hikes or triathlon training, which is one in like not even that, I don't even know. Riding a bike, concerts. I like concerts.
Okay. So
Yeah,
that, that's
just
a that's a
here's the
lot to do in
perfect
one
date.
day.
The perfect date is you make a plan and you stick to it, and that's just perfect in itself. I don't understand why that was the hardest question for me to answer.
Hey, you have been awesome with us today. So you've been amazingly authentic, as I've always known of you. Thank you for being gracious and speaking from your heart on today's call. We are going to share this with as many people as we can, just because of the power in its message. And then obviously, there's a few things that we will do after this to make sure that we continue the impact that you've made on so many people. So I'm extremely grateful on behalf of the entire Unfiltered tribe. We're super excited to hear from you. We want to continue to host you again and again and again. Hopefully you are open to that. But I'm going to allow you to have the final note on this call. Is there anything that you would like the audience on this call to know about you or something you want to share with them? A little bit of Jenae Noonan.
I think it would take the second to just encourage everybody to make that phone call, show up at that house, do the thing you've always wanted to do, quit that job, go after your dreams. Today, today's the day. That's my final say. Is there's no more wasting time. You know, pick up the phone, make that phone call, do that thing, grab life by the mother balls.
Unfiltered Talks with Jenae Noonan. You're amazing. You're awesome. Love you lots. Thank you for being with us on this Wednesday afternoon, and we're gonna absolutely look forward to many more sessions with you. I hope you recover. I hope you recover fast. I hope you recover full. Thank you, Mom, for joining us as well. And I will wish you a extremely, extremely exciting Wednesday, and I'll hope to see you soon.
You too. Enjoy your day.
Thank you, Jenae.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.